My guest today is Suzy Green, co-founder of the Positive Psychology Institute. Suzy is a leader and pioneer in the complementary fields of coaching psychology and positive psychology, and she lectures at the University of Sydney. Suzy, welcome to In Her Shoes.
Hi, Suzy.
Thank you so much for joining us.
No problems.
Tell us a little bit about the work that the Institute does.
I guess we provide a range of services, both at the individual level but also at the organisational level. And we take a proactive approach, I guess, to mental health and mental fitness. So similarly to physical health and physical fitness, where most of us are very proactive, we're trying to encourage and inspire people to be similar in their mental health.
One of the areas of expertise with you is working with women and their well-being and their stress management. You
That's
actually
right.
write a column for Women's Health.
Yes.
You're their stress less expert,
That's right.
I believe. What are some of the main causes of stress for working women?
Definitely, and we actually collected some data at a large executive women's conference about a year ago, and I guess the area that stood out the most was too much to do in too little time.
Okay.
And most women will definitely be able to, understand that. So I guess competing priorities, wanting to be accomplished both in the workplace and at home, and juggling. So there are multiple stressors for a woman in today's world.
When we look at stress in the workplace, how can we be more responsible about our well-being? Because, we're not going to probably get less busy.
No, that's right.
So how do we manage what we do?
Exactly. So again, I guess taking a proactive approach, we usually start with the WWW, which is what's working well. So firstly, identify what you're doing well in your life that's actually keeping you well. So again, most of the executive women I work with definitely have an exercise regime, and we usually suggest at least 3 times a week for 40-minute sessions. Although in saying that, Suzy, when the pressure's on, it's usually the first thing to go.
Yes.
So again, we really need to prioritise those exercise sessions into our week. The other, I guess, area that's really getting a lot of research behind it at the moment is mindfulness techniques and meditation. So having a regular routine, whether that's daily, even small, 5 minutes a day, the research is showing can increase our levels of well-being. It also allows us to focus on the things that we want to, rather than our mind taking us to places where we don't necessarily want it to be. So another great strategy for us.
When we're feeling like we're in a rut, we get up, we go to work, we go home, perhaps we have a family, perhaps we don't have children, but we have other responsibilities. When we feel like we're in a rut, that can often lead to stress.
Definitely.
How do we get ourselves out of that?
Yes, I think stopping firstly and taking stock. So again, one of the strategies that we would use with our executive women would be to take time out. So for some women that might mean going on a retreat. There are some amazing retreats again across Australia at the moment, because we don't often stop to reflect and think about what are the things that are important to me in my life, how well does my life reflect what I'm saying is important, and what are my goals for the future. So in the sessions that we do at an individual level, we firstly start with the values, so getting real clarity around what's important and then starting to set some goals around that.
How important is it that our day-to-day work is something we love?
Very important. So we spend around 1/3 of our lives at work, and if you're waking up in the morning and dragging yourself into a place and not feeling good about it, it's significantly going to affect your well-being. So it's so important that when we wake up, we actually have a sense of meaning and purpose around what we're doing, why we're doing it, and that there also needs to be some pleasure in our lives. So for many of the women that I work with now, they do find their work really meaningful, but they're low on pleasure. So we also talk about strategizing around pleasure and making sure that there's a good balance.
And what advice do you give in that area?
Well, scheduling, definitely. I know if I don't schedule my pleasures, they don't happen. So massages, again, retreats, time with girlfriends, just time to be rather than do, which is what we're constantly doing.
Yeah, and I love what I do. I adore it,
Yes.
and I spend a lot of time at it. And sometimes all I need is to go to a coffee shop and sit by myself.
That's right.
And just, play on the iPad or something.
Exactly.
And I can come back totally refreshed. So it's not a matter of going out and quitting a job because you're not enjoying it every minute of the day.
Not necessarily, just some quiet moments. It might be taking yourself off to the park. I mean, there are many women and men in the city that don't see the sunlight during the day. And we also know that vitamin D is absolutely essential for our well-being too. So we usually suggest take yourself out of the office. It's when you're in those quiet moments that often the creative ideas come, the innovations as well. So if you're not taking that quiet time, you're actually depriving yourself of creativity and innovation.
One of the things that we're not great at doing, I think, sometimes as women is outsourcing parts of our lives that could give us a little more time and space.
Exactly. And if we do, then we engage in the guilt trip. So again, we really have to let go of that guilt. And if it means, you know, engaging a cleaner or having someone assist, you know, with tasks at home, I'm all for it if it's a possibility. And I understand it's not for everybody, but try to think about the things that you can seek help with. And again, women are often find it difficult to ask for help, but you know, I think it's one of the best things that we can do is to ask for help.
Yeah, thank you so much. I meet a lot of women who are very stressed out, and I'm sure all those strategies will come in very, very useful.
I hope so, Suzy.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.